Welcome to the Man Crap Podcast, coming at you live from the Blackout Tent Company studio.
Man.
He likes it loud.
What's up, suckers?
What's up? Yo.
Got Dr. Kenneth Golden joining us again.
How's it going, guys?
What's up, everybody?
Yeah, I didn't tell Kenneth this, but our last episode you were on is our most listened to episode. It is.
Cool.
It is. People love listening to other people's plight.
Yeah. That's how I keep going every day.
Yeah. They love listening to other people getting fucked up.
I actually had people come on my TikTok live and they said, we like the shampoo bottle story.
That just fucking hurts. Yeah, what's been going on, man? We've been busy, man. Summertime.
Yeah.
Don't have time, vacations, and we just hadn't had time.
It's that time of year, man.
Yeah,
Vacation.
it is. So we're gonna get back at it now. We got a little time, so we're gonna get back at the podcast.
For sure.
Yeah, we're back at it again. So what's been up with you, Ken?
Work, man. It's cold and flu season. You know what I mean? So everybody's coming in.
Yeah,
It's flu shot season. Go get your flu shot at least. That's the one I do recommend. The other ones I'm not a big fan of, but
So you do recommend the flu shot?
Absolutely. The flu shot is one I always get. COVID updates, I mean, it's much less than it has been. It's not as severe as when it first came out. It's coming up much more like the flu. So that one's on you. Have a discussion with your doctor about your risk factors. But for me, the flu shot's almost always a go. Shingles and pneumonia, if it's your time for those, get those as well.
Shingles? Do people still get shingles?
Bro, I got shingles at 30 years old. It was awful. It was so awful. I was studying for boards.
Yeah.
So stress, because shingles comes from stress. If you ever had chickenpox, did you have chickenpox as a kid? No, you got the vaccine, didn't you? You got lucky.
Probably, yeah.
So you'll never get shingles. You never get shingles. When I was a kid, my parents, they were like neighbors down the street had it. So they took me and my sister over and shoved us in a room with a kid that had chickenpox, just to kind of like go ahead and
get
it. Yeah. So then the next day I'm like waking up like, oh God. But anyway, so it lives in your nerve roots for forever.
Yeah.
If you get chickenpox. And so when I was like 30, I was really stressed studying for boards, and I used to wear my stethoscope around my neck as I walked around the hospital. And it was just like, I was like, Jesus Christ, like, why is my nipple hurting? Like, what?
Got it on your nipple?
Yeah, dude. I swear to God, right
nipple.
nipple. And I was like, Jesus, did I like run? Did I get chafed? Like, because the rash takes a few days to develop. The pain starts beforehand.
Yeah.
And so it took some minutes, and I was like, geez. And then like 3 days go by, and then all of a sudden I get this gnarly rash under my armpit, and I'm like, it's shingles. So yeah, I got it early, but so get your shingles vaccine, because that shit sucks, man. It hurt like hell, and your clothes, like even your clothes, just barely even touching your skin. You could blow on it, just like you're like, it's awful.
I never had shingles. I didn't have chickenpox though. I remember my neighbor had it. My neighbor kid had it one time, and dude, he had it so bad. He had it on the bottom of his feet, and it was just, oh man, it was terrible, dude. He couldn't even walk and all kinds of shit.
The old calamine lotion.
Yep, that's what I had.
I think my mom's probably
Pink putty.
My mom's probably still got an old bottle of calamine lotion. It's all crusty around the top and shit.
From 1984, expired like 40 years ago.
She'd still use it though. She's like, put some of this calamine lotion on.
It's like the Vicks, man. My mom used to put that shit on my feet. You know what I mean? Maybe put socks on.
Seep through the floor.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about the SpaceX thing, the rocket.
That was amazing, man.
That shit was crazy, man.
I didn't watch it.
You didn't see it?
Technologically advanced. The level of engineering and everything that goes into it to take a 250-foot long rocket that weighs 250 tons from the speed of sound to slowly landing on some chopsticks.
Yeah, it's like the
And nothing's controlling it. Nobody's
the
controlling.
damn.
I mean, a computer, but not like nobody's flying it.
Yeah, it's like a drone.
Yeah.
I mean the. I mean, I don't know what they call it, the propulsion system or whatever it is.
The booster.
It was like moving like this,
Right.
man. And when they were guiding it back into the
Holster.
whatever it is, man. It was just guiding it back in. It was amazing to watch, man. I was just like, what the fuck, man? It didn't even look real.
Yeah.
Like it looked like it was like this big around.
Right.
But it was like the size, like you said, like the size of a building.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah. So those the things that it lands on are like wind fins.
Yeah.
And so, like you said, they kind of like alternate like that to kind of help it steer a little bit, but they also are like support enough for it to land on. And then there's like 31 engines, I think, if I remember correctly, and like
Damn.
3 of them are on like a gimbal in the middle that like turn, and that's how it kind of like steers before it lands. The rest of them are kind of straight.
Yeah.
So,
That shit is crazy looking, man.
yeah.
You got to look it up, man. It's
Wow.
fucking
The
dumb.
next time they're going to try to land both. They're going to try to land the ship and the booster at the same time, which would be gnarly.
I mean, that dude is
He says it could be refueled in like 2-3 hours.
Refueled. Got some breaking news coming. So, anything exciting happening in Bowling Green?
Not really lately. It's been just like I said, cold and flu
Just
season.
normal stuff?
Yeah, pretty straightforward, normal. Football season, a lot of injuries, broken collarbones.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that type of stuff.
Oh yeah.
The regular though, nothing too crazy lately. Thank goodness. I'm
Any
happy.
bones protruding out of the legs from the football?
I mean, there's always some stuff like that, but no football. No, it was mostly other things.
Yeah.
Football, like I said, it's mostly collarbones. That's what you see more than anything these days. It's the little kids to, the like 10 to 12-year-old age range, laying out for a pass, lands on his shoulder,
Yeah.
comes in, it hurts with my arm, and I touch his collarbone. I'm like, ew, yeah, that's broke.
Reason why.
Yeah.
Yeah, Justin broke his collarbone
Mhm.
one time, dude, and it was just sunk in.
Yeah.
It was like, God, yeah. Yeah, what about, I asked you about this, but, and I know Rick, he's skeptical as fuck, but the alien sightings that are happening
Yeah.
around.
I am a firm believer that aliens are out there. Like
That-
they exist. I think they're out there in space somewhere, but I'm also a very hard skeptic.
They're not out there, dude. They're here.
See,
I don't
that's-
think they ever
that's a little
left.
Stretch, but I think they have visited, you know what I mean, and come and gone. And if they are out living under the ocean somewhere, I don't think they're like in our society or anything at that level. I don't think Men in Black level is.
Man. I don't know, man. I don't know, dude.
What was
He
what
thinks
was
they're coming to hold our hands and take us to the grocery store.
yeah? What was was it the blue book or blue whatever? I can't remember what it was called. I think on the History Channel where they had the guy, and it was back in like the 60s and 70s who like researched it and the scientist, and he was like, like 90% of it is, most of it is, provable as scientific fact as something else. But there is a small percentage of it, that 10% or so that you can't really put your finger on it and say, yeah, that's.
I mean, we would have to be. I mean, we're not the smartest
No.
beings out here. There's
No.
got to be something smarter than us. I mean,
Sure.
we're big dumb animals. I mean, there's something else out there.
For sure. For me, it was always one of those. I can't remember. There was a movie one time that had it, and it was like, until we reach like the speed of light, you know what I mean? Until we can travel more farther enough away to matter to anyone else. Like, I don't think anybody's going to take us seriously. Otherwise, they're just going to like fly on by and be like, just some monkeys on a planet. if you kind of like had an analogy of like they found some new island and there was this, group of humans and they were living on it, we wouldn't really care until they started blowing things up. You know what I mean? Like until they could actually like hurt us, as long as they had like guns and sticks, we wouldn't care.
So what about the James Webb Telescope? Do you know anything about that?
Yeah.
Okay, so apparently they have seen something on the James Webb Telescope that's been heading towards Earth.
Sure.
That actually, it's like not floating towards Earth. It's like at light speed heading towards Earth on the James Webb Telescope.
I did not hear that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, dude, it's happening. They're coming. They're coming to save us. They're coming to fucking
get
save
optimism
us.
there.
They're going to come here and they're going to fucking save us.
I'm more H.G. Wells in it. If they're coming here, it's to take our water or some valuable things. It's not to invite us into the intergalactic society.
Oh, set on my keys.
Happens.
They're coming here. They're already here. They never left.
Now the F-16 or whatever ones, the California footage that I saw recently, that stuff is pretty real, man. Because you got to think that if they're catching it on our fighter jets, scanners, and all of these things, those are like the most advanced things that we have. Like, you know what I mean? So if it's catching that and that stuff's not reading it, it's got to be something.
Something recently crash landed in Washington too. I'm just saying, and they're covering it up.
So would their spaceships be visible or invisible?
Visible.
Are you sure they would be visible?
So Wonder Woman style.
They're visible.
I'm asking because I've seen.
Well, they could probably be invisible or visible.
I seen something one time when I was fishing up at Bull Creek in Gallatin.
Okay.
That's what I was asking. A buddy of mine on the boat with me. We both seen it. We both like, what the fuck is that?
Okay. See.
Over top of the main channel, we were back in the cove.
All right.
You could almost. It was weird, like the pressure in the air changed all of a sudden.
Okay.
More of a silence, kind of like almost like before a tornado would come. Something. The barometric
was
pressure.
Yeah.
Eerie quietness to the air. The pressure changed, and we looked up at the clouds, and you could see a big fucking image of something in the clouds, and see it moving, and it kind of faded in and faded out, and you look back, it was just clouds again.
Mm-hmm. So you seen some shit.
I seen some shit, and I don't know what that shit was. But I did, and the guy that was in the boat with me seen it.
I'm telling you, they're here. They've been here. They ain't never left.
That's why I asked if their ships been.
They've never
visible
left. They've never left us. They're here. They've been here.
Again, I think they're just watching us. I don't think that we matter until we can get to them and touch them. You know, and then at that point, that we become a threat, and then it's like they invite us to the intergalactic society.
I think
join us
within the next.
Move the speed of light.
I think within the next 5 years, it's going to be common. I think it's going to be common that aliens exist, and they're going to be here, and we're going to know about them, and it's just going to be part of.
And they're just going to be part of our society.
They're just going to be part of the society,
like the Coneheads.
The Coneheads.
I hope in the next 10 years we're on Mars. That would be my goal.
That would be something.
Yeah.
If Musk has anything to do with it, it's going to happen.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
So it's Bama hate week.
Woo.
Go Big Orange.
Yep.
I mean, they got beat by Vanderbilt. Come on.
Vanderbilt ain't no punk. Vanderbilt's no punk bitch.
They're not no punk
It's
bitch.
that
I
triple option, man.
give them some props.
That triple option.
But
Right.
they put an ass whooping on Vanderbilt. I mean, you don't have to have a big point spread to put ass whooping, but they put a physical ass whooping on Alabama when they played them.
Yeah. I mean, it was close. They didn't put ass with on. It was close.
I'm not talking about point
I
spread.
mean, what
I'm
was
talking
it-
about
was
the
it-
way
was-
they outplayed them.
Was it within 5 points? It was. I
Something
think it
like
was at 5 points.
Something like that.
Either way, though, it's that type of offense. You have to prepare like 2 weeks. You know what I mean? You just have to isolate and prepare for that, because there's no other game you're going to play. Any other game of the year is going to be anything like that, just because it's so weird. So
yeah, but our defense is gonna are eventually gonna be able to come around to being able to defend that.
Defense is great this year. Defense is on point. I can't ask any more from the defense.
I'm talking about a defense against the triple option that Vanderbilt runs. They're going to be able to finally come around and be able to defend that.
Now, Tennessee offensive line this weekend. Jesus Christ, boys, come on. We got to get that together.
Yeah. The offensive line is
that's
bad.
where we need work right there. Either that, or you're just gonna have to roll out Nico and say, hey, you're gonna have to maybe run every 5-6 plays just to keep the defense honest. But in the rollout, he looked really good. But sitting in the pocket, I know he's a pocket quarterback, but we can't make a pocket right now. So it's just
Yeah, but I think Arkansas's defensive line is good.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're good.
Yeah.
So that might be something. I mean, I don't know about Alabama's defensive line, but they usually have a good defensive line.
Fair. Depth.
So, Bama hate week. Go Big Orange.
I don't give a damn about the whole state of Alabama.
The best thing about Alabama is 65 North.
Yeah. My grandfather used to have a great joke about Alabama. He used to say that birds fly upside down over Alabama. Do you know why?
Why is that?
Because there ain't nothing worth shitting on.
That's right.
Don't drop the duty in Bama.
Yeah. Did you guys see the Brett Baer interview?
Oh
my God!
Did you see him afterwards where they interviewed him and they were talking to him and he was like, I have never in all of my interviews had 3-4 staffers on the side like stop.
No, he was not
waving her down.
He was not. Yeah, well, they were waving her down like
yes, stop, shut up, cut the interview.
Up.
Yeah.
Like I just wonder what she said to her staff. Like, what the fuck were you thinking putting me in there with him?
Yeah.
I mean, this motherfucker fucked me up, man. Like it was like his first question was like, okay, so how many illegal aliens did your administration let into the country? And she was like, let's get to the point here. Okay, the point is, how many illegal aliens did you let into the country? Bitch?
Question, numerical answer.
Get a number here, bitch. Like, fuck, come on.
She has like the weirdest damn way of stretching out an answer, not answering anything at all.
And I don't think I've ever heard her answer a question.
That woman says a lot of shit, not saying anything at all.
Deflection.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, I've never been a huge Trumper.
Right.
But God, man, if he doesn't get elected, man, we are fucked up.
We're all going to have chlamydia for 4 years.
Show the shirt.
The shirt.
Come on, get a shirt. Man. Yeah.
Scary times.
It is.
Hopefully enough people are realizing. I think immigration is going to be the biggest issue. I think it's going to be up there as well, especially in the South, because it's something we see a lot more than everybody else. Especially just the handouts that are getting given there and not given other places. So I think certain votes might swing other ways.
I think even the sanctuary cities are seeing the problem, like New York, Chicago. And
I'm all for immigration.
Yeah.
Like, my mom came here, all this type of thing. So it's like, I'm all for it, but it has to be done in a structured way. And you got to do it right. Because the influx in the way that it's happening is one, it's just not fair. It's a wasteful use of resources. Like we're spending a lot of money housing hotels and paying credit cards and healthcare when there's a lot of people here that need those resources and funds. I mean, like, you look at North Carolina, like we're out of FEMA money because we've spent it all on aliens. And it's just like, man.
Yeah, they literally said we do not have enough money to send to you to help you. It's a good thing that those good old boys up there clearing
flying
roads.
in.
They're using their own helicopters.
And then some of them even get arrested. Do you hear about that?
They beat up the FEMA guys. Like, fucker, you ain't stopping this fucking train, motherfucker. Get the fuck out of here.
It's sad.
It's like, fuck. God.
Hopefully Elon gets in and they get their governmental, what was it, the efficiency agency where they go in and like cut all the red tape. That's what Trump was saying.
Oh, yeah. I saw that. Yeah.
That would be smooth, man.
Well, yeah, Elon even brought the Wi-Fi. What's his Wi-Fi called?
Starlink.
Yeah, the Starlink. He even brought it in. It was like, here, fucking take some.
Yeah,
here, you can have it.
Well, he made a comment about that too, because there was like some $4.5 billion governmental fund to give internet to like rural cities. And they gave 0 people internet, and he was like, "I could have done it for like less than a quarter of that." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and done it all.
Yeah.
Fucking idiots.
Yeah, man.
We're being led by some big dumbasses. Like straight up, like big old fucking idiots.
Term limits, balanced budget.
Yeah,
Those are the big ones. I think would turn us around a
fucking
lot.
term limits, man.
That's huge.
Gotta happen, man. That's gotta fucking happen. You got. I mean, a perfect example is fucking Joe Biden.
Yeah.
I mean, that fucker's been in. How long has he been in office? Fucking 50 years.
Or Pelosi. Pelosi is my favorite one.
Man.
Yeah.
And ain't done shit.
Yeah.
Nothing.
My favorite, they have this Pelosi stock trader like tracker on Twitter, and it's like this guy that I follow, and it tweets all of her like purchases to her portfolio, and it's the greatest because you'll see some. She'll like, I remember there was one with like the superconductor shortage or whatever, and she like purchased Nvidia like 2 weeks before it went up like 40% and she made like $15 million. You know what I mean? And it's like, how the fuck did you know that? Oh, because you're a senator and you knew about all that stuff.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
You know, stock trading for them needs to end,
trading,
man.
baby. Insider trading, yeah.
Enron got busted.
She's got the
that.
inside scoop.
So that's another big one I think you need to throw in there for politics. It's no trading for politicians.
Yeah.
It's a public service, man. You're not there to make money.
I mean, we could only, look, I want Trump to get elected because I want him to just fucking go in there and just fucking strut in there and just be like,
yeah,
fuck all y'all motherfuckers. I'm about to mix all this shit.
I think that's the greatest incentive for him, and even for those people in the middle road, is just the fact that he's not going to play the game and he's not going to play the rules. And I think that's what people are seeing now that we need. Like, the more they play the rules, the more Camillas and the more, Bidens you get, the more puppets you get. And I think at this point with Trump, they at least know that somebody's going to go in there and ruffle a few feathers and change some things, at least hopefully for the better.
I mean, I think that's why it looks like it, to me, it was fixed when Biden got elected, because he really didn't have time to clean it up. If he would have got another 4 years,
right,
he would have had time to do more to get it cleaned up.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it just looks so obvious that it was fixed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
100%.
The fix was in.
Yeah.
Like a damn football game.
Vegas odds.
Oh, yeah, football, pro football is so rigged, man. It's so disheartening.
Yeah, I can't watch it. My team is awful.
Who's your team?
Oh God, I'm a Cowboys fan.
Oh yeah, they're pretty bad.
Yeah, it's been bad for a while, man. Now, when I was a kid, it was great. It was the glory years, the '90s.
The
trifecta.
I was a Cowboys fan in the '70s. Roger Staubach.
There you go, Captain Comeback.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what
Captain Comeback.
that was his nickname.
Tony Dorsett.
Yeah.
Drew Pearson. Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah.
So I just don't watch it anymore because it's a waste. It's a waste of a franchise, man. To have that much money as a franchise.
Yeah, they're like in the top 3 richest franchises in sports.
Yeah, and to suck so much ass consistently, God, it kills me. I can't even. Don't even get me started. It's frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, Dak is in the top 5 quarterbacks as far as passing yards and but
it's just you gotta have the oomph, that little bit extra. Like, you can be a Kurt Warner and be average and have that little bit extra, or you can be a Tony Romo. And Dak is going to be remembered as a Tony Romo and not a Kurt Warner. Yeah. And that's it. I hate to say it, man. Like, as a Cowboys fan, that's how he's going to be remembered.
Yeah,
unless he pulls something out and wins
it.
But
I still kind of look at the Cowboys, from afar. Like, I'm a Titans.
Now that stadium is beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. The giant jumbotron. Yeah. The horseshoe bar at one end.
Yeah, and you get to in the bar is like downstairs, and like you can be down there partying and watch them walk in and shit. It's like, the fuck are they are? It's like, that's cool, man.
It's a cool place.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm right there with you there. I'm a Titans fan. We're we're in a worse situation. We like even worse. Like,
you fell for the Will Levis train.
Look, dude, I had a man crush on Will Levis, dude. I was like, he's gonna be the fucking man, dude.
The Kentucky Golden Boy.
Look, I was like, take the over on the Titans winning more than 7.5, dude. They're gonna fucking do it. And fucking Will Levis just shit the bed, dude.
I saw that.
It's terrible, man. It's fucking terrible.
He looks
Fucking
like the
hate
perfect golden boy on paper.
He does,
but
man. He looks like he's like if you
prototype.
sculpted
Yep,
a quarterback.
that's what I'm saying.
You know
On
what I
paper
mean?
and-
It's
and, you
like
know, the
that's
picture.
the one.
Yep.
He's the one.
American golden boy.
That's it, man. And it's just like he gets out there and fucking looks like fucking Pippi Longstocking. It's fucking pitiful, man. Fuck. I mean, come on, Will, get it together.
New stadium will be nice though. I
It
see that
will,
getting
it
put
will.
up.
Yeah, I hope we get a Super Bowl at 29. That'd be something. That'd
Be
something.
good. Be good for the city.
Yeah, of course it's already predetermined to
Yeah.
2028.
Mm,
No,
Maybe that year.
but that'd be fun.
We'll see.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
After $2.5 billion or something like that, we ought to get a damn Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah, they're spending some loot, man. On that.
That's ridiculous. And I guess it'll draw more people into the city for tax dollars.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Tourism, commercialism. That's how that city's
Yeah.
thriving now, right?
It's where they get the $1.25 a shot downtown Nashville on a tax.
Wow.
What is it?
$1.25 shot tax.
$1.25 a shot.
Shot.
Like a drink shot?
Then we went up on.
So when you
we
go
went
to
up-
when you go downtown
they charge you $1.25 tax per shot.
and you get a shot, they're already charging you fucking $10 a shot or $12 a shot.
Rooftop, 2 shots, fireball, $25.
Wow.
Fuck that. Fuck that.
Wow.
Shit.
That's almost like a bottle.
That's more than a bottle.
It's a handle. You can buy a handle for that.
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
Biden taxes.
Bidenomics. That's some Bidenomics for you.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I did find though, if you get off of Broadway and come in just a little bit, we like to go to the Wild Beaver at the bottom of the Commerce Street parking garage, and the prices are more reasonable.
Well, look at the name. It's called the Golden Beaver.
Wild Beaver, the Wild Beaver,
The Wild Beaver. Golden Beaver.
You got $8 a shot there.
Oh, $8 a shot. You still get the $1.25 tax on it?
It's
$8 a
incorporated.
shot. It's incorporated. Yeah, they handle it.
Oh, fuck. They're still making a fucking killing.
That's
Even
a
$8 a
fact.
shot.
$5-6 profit.
Right. Right. Yeah. Shit.
That's a fact.
Grant. You're being quiet over there, too.
Oh, I'm listening.
Oh, okay, just listen.
Mhm.
All right. Just had to wake you up over there, man. Just make sure you're still there.
Mm-hmm.
All
I'm
right.
here.
All right. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, Ken. You got some stories for us?
Yeah, there's a few we can bust out. I'm trying to remember. I just don't want to repeat tell anything. So that's
Okay.
always the hard
Well,
thing.
we'll stop you if,
All right.
if you repeat tell something.
All right.
Okay.
Did I ever tell you about the? I had a delivery one time. I used to deliver a lot of babies when I first came out.
Okay. You have told us. You have told us some delivery stories.
I did.
Yes,
Did
so
I
go-
tell you about the giant one, the huge lady?
Oh,
No, you didn't tell us about the big bitch.
Talking about a Bertha.
All right. So this is a really good one. So first and foremost, I have to preface the story by saying that sometimes obese women miss periods because obesity creates estrogen, which kind of messes with your cycle.
Okay.
So sometimes big girls will miss a few periods and not think anything about it. So anyways, I'm sitting in the ED and this 6'4", 425-ish.
6 foot. Okay.
6'4",
back up.
425.
6'4".
6'4", 425.
Are we talking
Woman.
male or female?
Woman, female.
Woman. Good God.
God.
Linebacker.
You said linebacker,
I mean, who's tapping that?
defensive
Who's
line,
tapping that?
I can get there later.
down
That's
bad.
part of the story. If you'll-
Somebody who's down bad.
The boyfriend's probably 5'6", 120 pounds.
So she comes in for abdominal pain, and she says she's had like a large gush of fluid, and I'm like,
Ugh.
oh god. So first and foremost, you got to get like to even like get down. in there
You got to
and take
start,
a
you
look.
know, loafing out.
No.
You have to have assistance and tape, and you tape things up, and you have somebody hold this.
Oh,
and so
No.
Embarrassing.
I go to look,
Embarrassing.
and there's a baby's head. So I'm like, okay, like this is happening. Like, hey, ma'am, sorry to tell you now, but you're pregnant and you're about to have a child. And so she has no idea.
How did she not know?
Because
dude?
they miss
Zero.
periods.
Zero idea, man. Yeah, but that's the thing is they just miss it sometimes and don't know.
What the fuck?
But I mean, obviously, in that situation, if you missed it for 9 months straight, I think you would kind of start to question. After a few, like 1 or 2 missed periods, I could understand. But a few, like go pee on a stick from the dollar store and figure it out. But anyway, so so that was all happening. Now the icing on the cake here is when she came in, she had a dip in, and when I mean like a dip,
Oh
I'm not
my
talking
god,
about
like a hog.
a
You're talking about
little
hog.
pinch. I'm not talking a big pinch. She had a horseshoe.
Talking about like a half
Pack in
can.
a barrel.
Like a horseshoe, like literally from one molar all the way around to the other side.
A
Full
horseshoe.
horseshoe, and was she grabbed like one of the coffee cups and put some tissues in it when she was in the waiting room.
Like Copenhagen, like
yeah, like
straight
fine
up.
cut,
Raw
like inner
cut.
teeth, inner teeth, man, disgusting. As she's in labor, and I'm just like, okay, like I got to get a baby out. Like that's the only thing I'm worried about right now. Like I don't, she's gonna be fine, But yeah, so baby came out, everything went good with that, but it was just awful for the amount of like squirming in there. I had to get to that. The funny aspect afterwards is you were asking like, how did that possibility, how did that creation happen? So we were all, kind of cutting up, joking about it, sitting around laughing,
Right.
And then husband happens to walk by, who's like tall, skinny guy.
Okay.
And so that, I guess he overheard the nurse saying something about it or whatever.
Oh,
and
no.
you know what I mean? And he's like, do you want to know? And we were all like, yeah. Like, well, why not? And he goes into detail about how he cut down a broom handle and sanded it. And he was like, I just kind of hooked this broom handle up under there, give it a good lift and slide right in.
So her gut.
Yeah.
Hung way over.
Oh, yeah. Panis. We call it a panis in the medical field.
What the fuck?
No, I thought it was
What
called
the
a shirt tussie.
Shirt.
Shirt pussy.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Shit.
So
Oh,
that
damn.
killed us. We all died. We were all just rolling.
Oh,
Like,
damn. That's
Really?
funny shit,
Mm.
man. God.
You never know what you're gonna
So
see.
he
man.
actually used the broom handle. That was no
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, no, that was no joke.
Oh,
That was like
fuck
legit
you.
his explanation for it, of how he like used the broom handle to lift it, and then he kind of slid in there.
He jimmied his way in there.
Yeah, didn't know if he was in a fold or in the right spot, but
Yeah.
went down anyway.
Spit on it, get it wet, and go. Whatever happened.
Try not to think about it.
Happens.
Gives me nightmares.
I mean, how did he even get off, man?
How did he even
That's his baby, man. That's his boo.
Oh,
Oh,
You never know.
Oh man, that's
Damn.
oh man, that's a good one.
Nick said, that's his baby. That's his boo.
Yeah, that's his boo.
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh man, that was a good one. That was a good one. I don't know how you're gonna top that one.
I'm telling you, man, it's hard. It's hard. You sometimes you just gotta pull them out of the hat. Sometimes you find some here and there. Let's see what else. Drugs are always a fun one. Did I tell you about the pulling some drugs out of conspicuous places?
No.
Oh man. So two of them. One, the first one is kind of straightforward and simple because we just had to watch a guy while the cops waited on him. But airport security brings guy in because he flagged on the X-ray machine, and so
Okay.
we get him, and he has 30 bags of cocaine wrapped in condoms that he has swallowed.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And so he had flew in thinking he was going to get away from it. And then, they put him in the little X-ray machine, and they're like, whoa, bro, hey, what's that? So then they bring him to us because we have to obviously observe the guy. And it's one of the situations where if one of those bags were to rupture,
Bust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're dead.
there's absolutely nothing that I can do to save you. There's no amount of fluids or medication.
So wait a minute. Wouldn't the stomach acid eat through the?
Well, I think it
The
actually
rubber,
can
no?
survive. It can
No, it'll pass
survive.
through.
Steve-O did it.
Yeah, it'll pass through actually.
Oh, it
doesn't-
passes.
Yeah. They pass it and they
Shit
open
it
it,
out.
and then they sell it.
Come to the United States and take a laxative.
That's nasty.
So basically, it's exactly what we did. Is we give the guy a laxative and he poops into a bucket and we count them all. And once they're all out, he gets arrested and goes to jail.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Ship me some cocaine, buddy.
but
Let's
I think,
go.
I think it was 30 if I remember correctly.
30 condoms.
Yeah, like 8 balls wrapped in a condom. 8 ball in a bag, and then the condom wrapped around it, tied off in a knot.
And
Swallow it.
38 balls. That would
Yeah.
be. That would be about
Yeah.
2 ounces.
Roughly.
Something like it.
Then you're good.
No, it'd be more than that, wouldn't it?
I don't know.
8 ball. It's
We
a half a
got a
quarter. Quarter.
2 ounces and a quarter.
4 of them's a half.
It's still a lot.
That's a lot.
It looked wild on an X-ray.
That's a lot of cocaine to
what
be
I'll
sitting.
say.
That's a lot of cocaine to be sitting at.
And I mean, just
It's
think about that.
nuts.
Taking big turds, 30 big turds like that, dude. That's gonna hurt your butt.
Got about 4 ounces, something like that.
Yeah.
4 ounces. That fucker shit 4 ounces of cocaine.
He's the goose that laid the golden egg.
God.
Then there's always the other situation where you have people like on the run.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And they just kind of like stick things places. And I have to go fish them out, especially in
Like in the coochie?
Fish them out.
Like in the cooch.
Yeah, that's probably really common.
Yeah. That's one. Because the thing is they'll get them right before they go to jail, and they'll be like, "Hey, you gotta, do you got anything on you? If you don't, if you go to jail, it's like a big felony." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And they'll be like, "All right, I've got this here." And most of the time, they give them the chance to get it out, but every once in a while, they're like, "I can't get it out," and they have to bring it to me. And then I go in with
It
some
gets
Mallory's.
stuck.
Yeah. You usually
Put them in the
just-
stirrups and
Yep.
Go at it.
Yeah, you use a
Get
lot
the
of
broom
lube.
handle.
They're actually called Mallory forceps, and they're these big kind of like thong-like
And
things
they're
that
like
used to grab
flat.
them. Yeah, but you have to wrap them in padding. You have to wrap them in gauze because again, I don't want the bag to bust. That's the thing. Like, and I just like don't move. Like,
what the
yeah,
fuck?
you gotta go fishing sometimes.
Gone fishing.
Yep. It's not my
Go fish.
It's not something I enjoy doing at all. It's like
Any
if
of
I
them
get
say, oh God.
this screaming sometimes, man.
yeah.
But it's like you got to get it out.
Oh God. Oh yeah.
I'm sorry.
Screaming.
Yeah.
God, that's fucking crazy.
Foreign bodies are always the worst. Foreign bodies, always. This is the random things that you can find in places that you could never imagine.
Random things. All right, go with one.
Oh gosh.
You
I
already
don't
did
know.
the shampoo bottle.
You already did shampoo bottle.
Screwdriver one time.
No.
Now this one was funny because it was like a truck driver, and the truck driver just like pulls in, and he's like, "Hey, I've got this thing in this place," and we're like, "Oh." And so it's like you call in the X-ray guy just to kind of like take a picture of it, and it's just a number 4 Phillips, just chilling in there, hanging out. And I go back in to talk to the guy, and it was like, yeah, I was kind of playing with myself while I was driving and hit a bump, boom, boom, in the big air ride truck, and there goes the screwdriver.
So he was driving down the road, jerking off, shoving a screwdriver up his ass.
Correct.
How the hell was he holding the steering wheel?
I'm pretty sure it could get kind of boring driving,
But
I don't think I'd stick a screwdriver up my ass.
I
A
can't
dry
say
fucking
why
screwdriver.
they would do it, but I can just give you the
I mean, you could lube it up, though. Yeah, you probably sure it wasn't dry. I'm sure he fucking lubed that motherfucker up. Like Tui got spit on that thing. Get me?
No question. I don't go that far with it. It's just once it's there and I know it's there, what does it matter to me?
I'd have to ask the motherfuckers, like, man, dude, what the fuck are you thinking?
I gotta hear the story. Spit it out, bro. You're here. It's already this awkward. We might as well just finish it on out.
Yeah.
Hot Tui, you got spit on that thing. Get me? Beer time.
Damn it, man. Hey, grab my Mountain Dew back there. Yeah, I got one somewhere. One that's open, I think. In the fridge. Somewhere.
Half full or full?
The half full. I want the one that's half empty.
Half empty or half full? Hey, look, my glass is always half full. I don't know. Yours might be half empty. Mine's always half full. I'm optimistic. All right, come on, Ken.
Oh God, you only bust out more, Lord. Give me a topic here at least. Narrow it down. Give me something you want to know about. I see the eyes are working over here in the corner.
I kind of like the.
Any burn stories?
I kind of like the
Like a bad burn or
bringing people back to
road
life.
rash or
Bringing people back to life,
Yeah.
kind of thing. I know you've done that.
Yeah. It's definitely one of those things that's more rare than you see on the television.
Oh, okay.
it just depends entirely on how fast CPR and AEDs and those types of things are applied and how quickly they get to me and get to medications. Because if certain EMS en route or things like that can give medications and people come back a lot faster. But there are some situations where they completely go out in front of you and you bring them back and it is like you feel good. You know what I mean? Like you go home feeling good those days. And there's a set of orders that you go through in those situations, and depending on the situation, those can vary, you know, depending on how the patient presented, how they got to you. Is it just like somebody on the floor that had a heart attack, or are they coming in because this, and this? So you kind of have to go through things differently each time. But yeah, no, it, I would say your 30s, 30%, 35%. Get them back, especially if they're really close. If they're in front of you and they drop right in front of me, then I would say it's like 50 or 60%. But if they're like coming in via an ambulance from 30 minutes out, your chances go down, obviously with time. But it does happen, and it does happen more frequently. And then there's some where I have literally been looking at my watch to call it, and they come back like a movie, you know what I mean? And you hope every time that's that way, but you also got to be prepared if it's not as well. Because again, it's you go through this every 2 minutes. You're doing a pulse check and you're checking things, and it's not just one person. There's a whole crew of nurses and other people that are involved, and multiple people are checking, and you're like, okay, do you have a pulse? No. Okay, keep going or stop. You know what I mean? Because that's the time. And again, it is situational. Sometimes you run them longer than the others, and sometimes you run them shorter than the others. It just all depends on the situation. So it's really, comes down to time. That's the biggest factor that I can say is how quickly we get to you, is how quickly you come back. Yeah. But, I've had a lot of good ones. A lot of some of them where you family comes in and says things and just like, ta-da, they're back. You know what I mean? And so hearing is always the last thing to go. So that's always the one thing that I always tell people is like, even when we're in the zone and, doing CPR, things like that, or if they're, comatose and things like that, I'm always like, hey, talk to them, and they will hear your voice, because that's like one of the last senses for the body to really kind of turn off. Vision takes a lot of processing. Hearing and smells and those types of things takes much less, and it's a more of a primal kind of reflex than other things. Smell particularly is attached most strongly to memory. That's why you like smell grandma's apple pie and it like takes you back to like being a kid, or like a perfume from your wife or something, and you're like, oh my god, like I know that smell. So smell and sound are very primal kind of reflexes. And always talk to people in those situations, because we always say that, at least. But no, like I said, there's tons of ones where they just like pop up and go out for a few minutes and come back. You hear people talk about stories of things and lights and sounds and hearing things or seeing relatives, and you always hear those stories, and it's convincing to some extent, in the sense of that you think there's something else on the other side. Everybody wants to believe something on the other side, so that's definitely.
Do you believe there's something on the other side?
Whew, it's a tough one.
Come on now.
I mean, if you have to put me on the spot, I can't say yes or no. I can't officially say. I'm a very scientific person. Grew up really religious, so that's a huge aspect. I think religion teaches great moral values and things like that.
I agree. I grew up religious too. I grew up in the church, and I don't go to church now, because I grew up.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I saw things and learned things, and and it's just like.
It's like government, man. Power breeds corruption, and I think that can bleed through into other things, even if they are meant for good. So I think you got to be very careful, and I think if you're religious, I think worship in your own way. You know what I mean? That's my big thing to everyone.
I think be spiritual.
Whatever it may be, whatever you believe in, whatever religion. Just
I think it. Whatever you believe is going to happen. In the end, that's what's going to happen.
Sure.
That's what I think.
Sure. And I hope I get like Stardust one day. That's what I want. Just cremate me and launch me into space, and I'll just turn into Stardust and make a star somewhere else. That's that'd be cool.
So what about like severed limbs.
Oh yeah, tourniquets. That's the big one for that
So
one.
tell us about a severed limb
Oh,
story.
okay. My biggest pet peeves when I see people driving is when they have their feet hanging out the windows.
So you hate doors off of Jeeps.
I mean, a door off a
With-
Jeep is kind of a thing.
with the foot hanging out.
I mean, it's more like the foot where the window's down and it's kind of like the
Propped up.
Yeah.
Sticking out by the mirror.
Yeah, exactly. That's the one because I've airbags.
Yeah, okay.
Airbags are brutal for like knee dislocations and hip dislocations because your feet are up. And then the other thing is if anybody comes by the side, that leg's gone, man. Like there's no coming back. So those are probably the most vivid ones I would have of severed limbs would be vehicle accidents. Particularly in Miami, where like you were always at the beach and people had their feet hanging out the window, and car accident, man, and that's gone, and they're just coming in and it's hanging, it's dangling, and you're just like,
tell us one.
yeah. So it was a T-bone car accident, feet hanging out by the mirror. They were driving, somebody ran the red light, and it was when you have an impact with a vehicle like that, it's not that it like cleanly kind of butcher cuts it.
Right.
It's a smash and
So it's like meaty, like
yeah,
like
muscle
mangled.
It looks like it comes out of a meat grinder, bone and things sticking out. Yeah. So in those situations, they normally get air casted, or you try to air cast them as quick as possible to kind of hold what you can together. Tourniquet applies, the big one there, and then fluids, pain meds, and get them to surgery. It depends on really how bad it is, how bad the bone is. Most likely in those situations, if it's really destroyed, that one it ended up losing just because the ankle joint is what got smashed. And an ankle joint is a really hard one to rebuild. Like a hip or a knee is pretty easy to rebuild. Shoulders, ankles, they get more difficult just because of the design of the joint and the way that it moves in space. So no, that one ended up getting lost. You see that a lot. It's a lot of times people ask you, and I try not to sugarcoat because I don't want to like get your hopes up. But you're like, look, like more than likely you're gonna lose it, but I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
so when you see it come in,
right away.
You don't have anything. When you see it, there's nothing you can do. You're just like. You're off to somebody else.
Certainly, to some extent, it depends on the severity. I mean, I've had, I fell off a roof and a femur, it was a tib fib, a lower leg fracture, and now the side bone is sticking out.
Oh yeah, I use that. I use that joke a lot. Like when I leave, I'm like, what do I say? I'm gonna bone out like Joe Theismann. Joe Theismann, his bone
sticking out.
Yeah.
And I've had those, and in those you try to at least reduce it to an extent. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna try my best to put it back in and set it somewhat. I actually enjoy.
I can't watch that like the Adam Hutchinson thing. Did you see that shit where his fucking leg wrapped around fucking? It just happened last weekend.
Yeah,
where his leg just wrapped around the other leg, and it was just like
hit like that.
It was just flop.
Like one of them little snap bracelets.
I can't watch that shit. I don't see how you do what you do because I can't.
I kind of enjoy resetting fractures. It's a pull and a tug game, and you kind of got to visualize where it's going. Shoulder reductions, knee reductions, all those are a lot of fun.
Nah.
All right, y'all. I got to take off. I got to go get her. Y'all got this. Yeah, appreciate it, buddy.
All right,
Good
dude.
you, man.
Hang in there.
Yep.
So Eddie Porter wants to know, were the toes up or toes down when the feet were hanging out?
Oh my God.
Good question, Eddie. Good question. Only you, fucker.
Toes up.
Toes up.
Yep, they were definitely toes up.
Yeah.
But like I said, I have seen a lot of airbags that go from toes up to toes down. You know what I mean? Because feet on the dash, and then the airbag kicks, and yeah. I've seen a lot of those, and then they're not like necessarily like bone out traumatic, but you've got like a knee joint that's ACL, PCL torn. Knee inverted.
So the airbags are like, they'll fucking kill you quicker than
They're pretty brutal. I mean, it's like a shotgun. Was it 12 gauge primer? I think that shoots those things off.
yeah.
Yeah. One of the big questions we always ask about in interviews is, did your airbags deploy? Because that's always like, okay, it was a decent crash then if your airbags go off.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, no, you see a lot of that. You can see airbag burns sometimes on faces.
Oh
and
yeah,
chests.
no, I T-boned somebody one time,
Yeah.
and I saw it coming,
Yeah.
and the airbag came out and burnt my forehead,
Yeah.
and I fucking bent the steering wheel. Like I saw it coming, and I gripped the steering wheel and bent the fucking steering wheel.
Wow.
Yeah.
From the force, yeah.
And it completely fucking the engine came almost into the fucking
Wow.
front.
Yeah.
I guess my strength
Yeah.
kept me from going through. The
Heaving
steering wheel
it,
was
yeah.
fucking bent.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
And then as to you said, you asked about burns. Burns are always a hard one because burns, you have to give a lot of fluids. Like fluids are like the big thing in burns, because once you burn all of your skin and your tissue, like all of the insides of your cells then leak out, and it can cause like electrolyte problems. So you have to like flush them. But yeah, I have seen a lot. I've seen a lot of just one simple stuff from like, pots turning over to hot oils and microwaves, babies. Sometimes I've even seen where you like, grandma got the bath too hot and went to dip the baby in, and lower half of baby is burnt. You know what I mean? Like,
Because the skin's so sensitive.
Yep. And it's like when you take the milk and you put the milk on this part of your hand because it's so much more sensitive. You know what I mean? Because babies are very sensitive. A lukewarm bath to you is a hot bath to a baby, and so sometimes people forget that and things like that. So, but yeah, burns can be really bad, and there's specialized hospitals that deal just with burns. So you try to get those patients to burn hospitals as fast as possible.
Have you seen like really bad burns?
Yeah, chemical burns where you're having to like decontaminate patients, and you like set up little tents outside and strip them and spray them down with like hoses and decontaminants, because I've had meth labs explode.
Oh, tell us that one. Yeah, we got to hear that.
Yeah, it was a patient gets brought in, EMS, breathing fast, heart rate up, burns probably 40% of the body. First and second degree, not terrible burns, but just bad places across the chest and the arms and the face.
So when let me ask you this. So when the meth lab explodes, the chemicals
Correct.
get on you.
Correct.
It probably gets into your system. So you're geeking at that point. Probably.
Yeah, depending on where it is in the cycle and what chemicals you were exposed to, and a lot of them are caustic. Basic lye and things like that. So they burn the skin anyway. So you have to like literally hose them down with special chemicals, depending on the situation. And so, so they get there. We have a tent pre-set up for them. EMS pulls them out. We pull them in the tent.
So you get the call in advance, get ready.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. So then everything's ready, and you're hosing them down before they even come in, and then then you're treating them. Then you're getting IVs and pain meds and all these things before they get transferred out to a burn center. But yeah, you see it a lot more than have to. I mean, and even simple things, garage accidents, car fires, you know what I mean? Like accidents happen. Very accident prone people. So it's always with the more simple things than you think that happen to more people than like, I was burning some leaves for fall. And I mean, we get those, but
what about the idiots starting a fire with their gasoline?
Oh, yes. Please stay away from gasoline, guys. That's like,
don't start your bonfire with gasoline.
The fumes are the things that people don't understand about that.
Yeah.
It just can poof in your face and you don't even realize it. You can just take a little tiny cup, like a little fire starter, maybe a lighter fluid if you really need it, but don't.
I use charcoal.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, I put a little charcoal on the bottom.
Fire starter, man.
Light
They're
like
$4 at the dollar store. A little log, you can light the paper, and then you can put all the stuff around it you want to.
Yeah.
Just stay safe, guys. Please don't do stupid stuff.
You see the YouTube videos and stuff. People dousing their gasoline,
absolutely,
and then they light it,
and
then the trail comes all the way to their
Wile E. Coyote
can,
style, man.
And it fucking catches the whole can on fire, and then it's fucking, it's chaos. Fucking idiots, man. People are fucking idiots.
Like I said, Wile E. Coyote. Remember, you'd have like the trail of gunpowder, and it like burns back to him, and Roadrunner blows his ass.
Yeah. People are fucking idiots.
Yeah. But that's my thing as the ER doc. Like, just try to think through it. If it sounds like a bad idea, it probably is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wear gloves if you're using knives. That's another big one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We can't say
We
that. 'cause
don't
we're-
do that.
Nah.
Well, no, it's
We're
just
using
it's
razor
deer
knives.
season. It's deer season.
Yeah.
So, I see a lot of those. Oh, I was hunting. Cut my hand open with the deer knife. So just be smart.
Oh, I'm sure you see a lot. You've
yeah.
stitched up a lot of cuts.
I love stitches. Stitches to me is a very enjoyable because I get like 30, 40 minutes where I just get to actually sit down and talk to somebody.
Yeah.
And they don't care because they're numbed up. So they're just sitting
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And then suturing is like, it's like half art, half medicine. I mean, if it's a straight cut, it's really easy and straightforward. And I can be done in like 15, 20 minutes. But some of those ones that are a little more of a challenge and you kind of got to picture how it's going to be pieced back together. I enjoy those. Those are fun to me.
Yeah. I cut the tip of my finger off.
Yeah.
Back here one time.
Yeah.
I mean, I was cutting some tent and I had my finger hanging over the thing, and I just and it was just hanging on by. And I was like, y'all, I'm gonna have to go to the doctor, man. And she fucking
pieced it
put
together,
that some bitch back on and stitched it, and it was just. I mean, I don't see how it was just bleeding, and she stitched it. While it was bleeding, like she couldn't stop the bleeding.
No. Sometimes
But she stitched that some bitch up while it was. It was just like, I mean, you can't even tell.
Yeah,
I don't even know which finger it was.
Yeah.
She did a great job. So.
Those are always my favorite when you have patients come back and they're like, "Hey, do you remember me?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh, you sewed up my leg right here," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I do remember that leg," because I remember the case more than I remember patients sometimes. In and out. But yeah, those are always my favorite. You did so good, and I'm like, "Yeah." Those always make me feel really good.
Right.
Because suturing, I mean, like I said, there's a lot to it. There's different techniques or different styles of wounds and different needles, different threads. Internal stitches dissolve, external ones don't. You've got certain stitches for eyelids and mouths, and they all have different purposes.
Oh, I've had a lot of stitches in my day, man, but not many tent and windows, which is surprising.
With as much as you're with blades.
Yeah, I mean, I use a razor knife every day.
Yeah,
I've had a lot of stitches, man. I put my hand through glass doors, I got, but all right. I think we've done enough damage. It was fun.
Absolutely, man. It's good seeing you guys again.
Yeah, we'll do it again.
Come get your car tinted here, guys.
That's it.
Third car I've been here. It's great service.
Yeah. Yeah. Do it again in a month or so.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's fun.
Hopefully the Vols will be looking way better next time.
Oh man, I hope so.
Knock on wood, big weekend.
Bama hate week, go big orange. Yeah.
Go Vols, baby.
Yeah. So, anyways, follow us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, listen to us on Spotify or anywhere you can find a podcast. Yeah. Grant, you were so quiet tonight.
I know.
I did a lot of listening.
Where's your girl at tonight? She didn't log on, man.
Yeah, no, she didn't. She's probably asleep.
Sleep.
Yeah.
Sleep. Anyway. All right. Peace out, suckers.
Peace.